Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Sociologylover. Kindly watch the full video everyone. Today's topic on my video are Basic Concept of Role Part 3. Under that there are types of roles, role behavior, role taking and role conflict. Before I start, I want to remind you all that the keywords are in different font and color, so kindly keep that in mind everyone. So guys, let's move on. Types of roles. A role pattern emphasizes performance. If one pays attention, the holder can do and how well can he do, regardless of his age, sex and group memberships. Linton makes distinction between ascribed and achieved roles. The two types of roles are: number 1, ascribed roles. A role that an individual acquires automatically at birth or on the attainment of a certain age. The most universally ascribed role is one's sex role, that is, male or female. Different age levels are also associated with different expectations. Roles based on one's birth as a member of a particular racial, caste, or religious groups are ascribed. For example, traditionally speaking, being born in a certain caste will imply certain role behaviors. For example, a priest's son will always be trained to be a priest. Number 2, achieve roles. A role that an individual has because he has either chosen or earned it. It is the result of his efforts and his action. Roles which are gained by personal efforts are known as achieved roles, such as army, doctor, engineer and so on. So guys, let's move on. Now let's focus on role conflict. Role conflict refers to the conflict experienced by the individual at the time of role playing. Role conflict is a psychological stress created when individuals do not filter roles, when others disagree with the individual about his or her role, or when several different roles make mutually exclusive demand on an individual. Role conflict is a social psychological concept used to investigate and explain individuals' experience of competing or conflicting demands. Role conflict may be experienced by the individual at two levels. Number 1, within his own body of roles, and number 2, between his own roles and those of other actors. Firstly, an individual may experience conflict if there is a discrepancy between his perception of his role and his perception of his actual role behavior. The conflict may have harmful effects upon his self-image. For example, if a person finds a vast difference between how he should act as a husband and how he actually does behave, he may experience an inner conflict. Secondly, an individual may experience conflicts within his own body of roles. An individual may perceive some clashing between the role requirements of two or more roles when he is playing them together. For example, one's role as a doctor may come into clash into one's role as a husband or wife at home. The doctor is expected to serve the patients even during the non-working hours if the need arises. It is equally expected of the same person as a husband or wife to pay attention to the needs of the family and the family members at least during the non-working hours. I hope you all are understanding till now with my explanations. So guys, let's move on. Now let's focus on role taking. Role taking means that a person responds by putting himself mentally or imaginatively in the role of the other person in order to regulate his own behavior. This is done by him in the views of others' expectations and not necessarily in the direction of conformity. Sociologists use the term role-taking in the discussion of social interaction when some behavior is initiated by one actor and a reaction comes from other actors. Role-taking is a significant in the process of socialization in learning of social roles. The idea of role-taking is a fundamental theory of social self established by the social psychologist G.H. Mead. The child becomes a social being by playing roles and taking the roles of other individuals. The term self is used in role literature. The term self would imply what ego thinks he is as a person, that is how he sees himself. The development of child's social self is important at two stages, the earlier play stage and later game stage. The child takes the role of other persons such as mother, father, teacher, bus driver, etc. and plays this role individually. The older child may put himself in roles of many positions simultaneously. For example, in playing a team game, the child is able to play the game because of his ability to imagine the roles of all the other players. So guys, let's move on. Now let's focus on role behavior. Role behavior refers to the way in which certain individual fulfills the expectation of his role. According to T.B. Newcomb, role behavior refers to actual behavior as distinct from role itself. For example, the status of an engineer's rank above that of a foreman. The engineer's role includes the expectations that he tells the foreman what to do. But in role behavior of engineer may vary from person to person. Engineer Mr. Joshi gives specific orders in a pleasant voice, while engineer Mr. Gupta gives general instructions in a harsh tone. The difference between them stems out from neither status nor role, but from role behavior. Role behavior is influenced by several factors. It means some factors make an individual to do less or more than what is expected of him in a status. Firstly, role behavior depends on the efforts that one puts in as an occupant of a status. He may or may not put proper efforts in that direction due to some or other reason. Secondly, role behavior depends on the feeling of obligation that one has towards the normative aspect of the status. For example, depending upon the strong or weak obligation that an individual may do his work and play his role as a father. Thirdly, role behavior is also affected by one's holding of other positions or statuses with rights and obligation attached to them. Lastly, role behavior differs with the capacity of the individuals, which is determined by both experience and by heredity. Experience involves cumulative learning in previous situations, and heredity influences the effect that experience has. So guys, that's it for today. I hope you understood what I taught today. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel, and also hit the bell icon to get updated with more videos. Keep supporting and I'll be preparing more videos for you all. Thank you, take care and stay safe. Bye bye.